guys, how's it going? So today I'm hoping to button up most of our bulb planting. It's honestly starting to stress me out a little bit because we ordered so many bulbs from Color Blends this year and I've been so excited to get them in the ground, but you know, physically it's been a little bit of a weird year, being like I'm over 7 months pregnant at this point, so I've only been able to do them in little groups here and there instead of an all one fell swoop like we normally do, which has made the process somewhat more enjoyable, honestly, because it's not such a huge chore all at one time. But we're almost into December now and I've got a whole bunch more daffodils to plant. So we're starting today at Erin's parents' house. We've got 100 daffodil bulbs called Casada to plant. And I think we're going to be planting them just kind of here and there around in their garden. And then we're going to be heading out to my parents' house to plant a few, and then we've got a few to plant at our house as well. Okay, so this is the first location right here on the other side of the garage. This is what the side of the house you see when you drive up to their house. And right now there's a white pillar, Rosa Sharon, there are some Holy Grail hibiscus. There's a red twig dogwood right there, but there's not much for spring interest. So I thought I would pop a few groupings like of maybe 10 daffodils in here for some early spring color. And Casada daffodils are beautiful. They are a double. The outer petals are white, the inner petals are yellow, but the inner petals are large. And they lay kind of right on top of the outer petals, but they've got this ruffly nature about them. They're just gorgeous. I saved a few back to plant in our garden so I could see them. I actually don't have this variety at our house. So we'll get started planting up here, and then I think we're gonna move to the backyard to plant the rest. I managed to fit about 35 daffodils in the front area and then 65 in this back flower bed, and I think it's going to be really pretty. I love this spot right here. There's so much going on in here and I think it's so pretty. Of course, we've got a nice layer of locust leaves, so some really good leaf mulch in there for the winter. But there's a barberry, so we've got nice red in the summer. There's a euonymus right here and a calamagratis that looks like a Carl Forrester. And then there's a couple of limelight hydrangeas that are just killing it. They love this spot back here. Underplanted with black pearl heucheras. Aren't those pretty? And there's some lamium tucked in the front here, and then just some other perennials and things. But there's 65 daffodils that start right here. I think I planted 5, and then I did a grouping of 6, and then a grouping of 7 in here. I did a grouping of 10 back in this spot, and then so on. And I ended up on the other side of this tree right here. So there's a nice big grouping of 10. There's a grouping right in front here, a bigger drift right back here. It's just gonna be really pretty, I think. All right, so that was job number 1 for today. Now we're gonna head out to my parents' house and we're gonna tuck in some Ice Follies daffodils, which is my dad's favorite variety. All right, we're out at my parents' garden now. Let me show you where all the daffodils are gonna go. I think we can fit all of them in this spot. Okay, you can see the deck to the left. And this is the kind of upper yard here where we spend a lot of time. Actually, a lot of time in the spring because it's usually nice and sunny up here. But I'm thinking all the daffodils will fit in this flower bed right here. It is quite deep. There's some roses. There's a whole bunch of stuff in here. But it goes quite far back there. So if I did a whole bunch of groupings of the daffs in here, I think it would be a really pretty show. Okay, so I just need to gather up my stuff and get them in the ground. All right, that is roughly 250 holes, I think. I lost count, somewhere in the middle there. So I think we're pretty darn close. If I need to make more holes, I can tuck them in the very back right there, but you can see I just did kind of irregular shaped patterns in groupings. So it'll have a little bit more of a natural look when they come up. So they swing all the way around and start at the edge of the flower bed here, and then just kind of go the whole distance. It should be really pretty. 45 extra bulbs. I think I had closer to 300 of those ice follies rather than 250 like I originally thought. And look what's right above me. Woo! CS! My goodness, be careful. There she is. I'm directionally challenged with the camera. Hi, sweetie. Oh, you have such a loud, happy purr. You know that? There's some of my dad's Christmas lights right here. Anyway, so I had to find a different spot for those remaining 45, so let me show you where those ended up. About 30 of them ended up right here in this spot, right in their entryway. And then if we head down this rock path here, the remaining 15 ended up in this little spot right here. And this is the only spot where I found a little bit of frozen soil. I'm really surprised about that because it's been getting into the mid-20s for lots of nights now. All right, the rest of the bulb planting is gonna happen at our house, and I'm thankful that all the in-ground planting is done because the rest of what we're doing today, they're all going in containers and I get to stand for the rest of this project. Okay, so this is our last project right here. See all those galvanized tubs? Those are the ones we had out in the cut flower garden. We have them filled with fresh soil because, you know, I had the bark nuggets in there and then soil on top and it just didn't work. What?
The bark nuggets.
They're called bark nuggets.
It cracks me up every time. Hey, you took the things off.
What things?
The logos.
I didn't take the logos off. Did some logo fairy come and take them off? Oh, that's nice.
Good job, whoever did that.
Yeah, that wasn't me. Anyway, I'm thinking of putting, actually not thinking of, we are going to put Globemaster Alliums in all 3 of these galvanized tubs. I think it's going to be such a whimsical, magical display just to have them packed full. Now I had every intention of planting this raised bed from Gardener's Supply full of daffodils, but the soil in it is completely frozen solid because it was stored back behind our barn in the shade. So we brought it out here where it will get most of the day of sun, and I popped the hood back over it to help warm it up a little bit. So hopefully in a day or two we'll be able to fill that. But we are going to fill that container and that container full of Bella Estrella or Estrella daffodils.
Nice.
They're so pretty. They're white with yellow. I think they will really show up. And you'll notice that we did move out all of the other containers we planted with bulbs. They were in the greenhouse. We moved them out here. We'll keep our eye on them. But honestly, the containers we had outside last year performed way better than the ones I wintered over in the greenhouse in terms of getting bulbs to grow. So you might have noticed that we've been using Biotone this whole time instead of the bulb tone fertilizer, and that's because I ran out of bulb tone. But Biotone works equally as well. So I'm going to be putting Biotone on top of the soil. We'll put the bulbs in, and then Erin's gonna help me pour soil over the top of them. So this should go pretty quickly. And aren't these allium bulbs beautiful? Now I'm gonna space them fairly close together, way closer than if we were planting them out in the landscape. But I just wanted to show you what the bulb looks like. This is the end the sprout will come out. And you can see this flatter end has all the roots. So this side needs to face down. And here's what they look like in the tubs. They do form quite a big mound of leaves at the base. So getting them, you know, semi-spaced out like this is going to be beneficial. But definitely if I was planting these in the landscape, we would be separating them a little bit more. And we will do that once we take these out next year and plant them somewhere in the garden. I do think I'm gonna get one more of these tubs though, maybe tomorrow, because I have an extra bag of 25. And that way, I will have 4 tubs full. It's easier to deal with 4 because I could, you know, flank 2 things.
I thought you want odd numbers of things.
Not with containers all the time.
Oh.
Anyway.
Okay.
Okay, so we can cover them with soil now.
Okay.
So we were running into an issue that I did not anticipate. Most of the soil is frozen at this point. Well, not most of it, some of it. Look at that, it's frozen. So I think, and it will thaw out, it was just that it was kind of toward the middle of a pile of soil that we have. So, you know, give it a couple of days and we'll be able to come out here like after it's been in the morning sun for a few hours, and it'll crumble apart and we'll be good. But I do think that we are gonna skip planting these pots right here because we're gonna go grab more soil and we're gonna put it somewhere where it can thaw out so that we don't have the same issue with the daffodil pots. But the Bella Estrellas are the ones that are going to be going in those containers, and I think it's gonna be beautiful. The Alliums are gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
I think they're just gonna be so fun. Anyway, that is it for today's video. Huge load off of my mind to know that just that many more bulbs went in the ground today. We do have a handful more to deal with, but we will hopefully find some spots over the next week or so. Hopefully containers that are up off the ground. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.